Hey everybody, welcome back to Mel's Board Game Room. And today I'm going to be sharing a game haul that I got from the Stonemaier Games. I've ordered a big pile of games from them. But before I get into that, let me mention we have a sponsor, which is Games and Couples, which is part of Oshrat Online Counseling. And they concentrate on doing couple counseling, utilizing a lot of board games to put into practice the Gothman principles. So they do amazing things. Be sure to check them out. We'll have their details down below. We recently did our top 9 games on the podcast of our top 9 Stonemaier games. And making that list kind of made me realize, well, there's more that I want that I don't actually own, and some that had made Carla's list. I was like, oh, that does sound good. So I put in an order because when Wyrmspan was coming out, I decided to become a Stonemaier champion. And I was just verifying. So it kind of gives you access to some blogs information, some kind of early information. You also get 20% discount on all Stonemaier games. So I'm going to be putting this to practice or to good use. And then you get also advanced deliveries on some new release games, which was the whole point for Wyrmspan. So we got Wyrmspan nice and quick. So let me show you what I got. So I'm just gonna grab a few here. I got a couple of the little stuff because it's like, oh well, might as well add these on. One I added was Smitten. So I honestly don't know hardly anything about it, but looking at it, it looks like this was a it says it's a cooperative micro game published in celebration of Stonemaier Games' 10th anniversary. So yeah, I'm excited. Like it's unopened yet. It just arrived yesterday. So it's a two-player game. Cooperative plays in 10 minutes. It looks adorable. So I'm really excited to give this one a try. And it was there. So I was like, okay. So Smitten. Once I get a try to get to play, I will let you know. Then I also have Rolling Realms. And what's really neat with Rolling Realms is they often release new cards to add to the game. And because it's a roll and write game, but what's really cool is each card that you can kind of, well, draw on or mark on are based on other games. So as new games come out, like more and more games get added to it. So I got Can't Stop. Can't Stop is a really fun dice push your luck game. So I thought it would be really cool to have it in my Rolling Realms game. I haven't opened these yet, so I have no idea how the cards are going to play. Then I also got Lost Rune of Arnak. So super excited for this one. Lost Rune of Arnak is really cool, and I'm kind of curious to see the card and what they picked because it kind of like the card reflects the game that it's about. But Last Rune of Arnak has a lot of different mechanism in there, so we'll see what they've decided to put in the card. And then I'm a big fan of Dice Throne, so they actually have a Rolling Realms Dice Throne. So that one was probably the first one I added to my cart when I was putting my order together. So Rolling Realms, and since it just released, Wyrmspan, and who doesn't love dragons? So I'm really excited to add this one to Rolling Realms. So I'll need to play Rolling Realms very soon and try these new cards. So those are the little add-ons that I kind of fluffed up my order with. Let me show you what I ended up getting. So, confession, I have never played Scythe. Now, I do own a lot of Scythe coins, and those are like my go to coins that I use with other games, but I've never actually played the game itself. And then when we were doing our top 9 games, we were talking about My Little Scythe versus Scythe a little bit. And Carla was a big fan of My Little Scythe, and she was saying how it's just a little bit easier to get it to the table, and it's a little bit easier to get people to, or kind of newer players to play. So I got My Little Scythe. Just because with my family, and then the local game days that I host I think this one will be an easier one from what I've been told to get played. So it looks really cool. You have like all these miniatures that's in there. The board looks amazing. And I understand that like it has similar mechanism to Scythe. So we'll see. Plus, one of my neighbor friend owns Scythe. So if I do want to play Scythe, which eventually I do have some access to the game. Then one of the games that's been on my wish list for a long time, and I saw it in the secondhand market a few times, like, oh, okay, please, can I have this one? And it was always sold before I got to it. And then it had made Carla's list. I was like, okay, I want this one as well, and that is Euphoria. And from what I understand, this is like a dice worker placement, and you're trying to kind of create a population, a civilization, but you're making sure that the population doesn't get too smart, I guess, because people that think for themselves cause trouble, I guess. Um, so I don't know. And then it has the game trays in here, which I really love. So I'm super excited to play it. Plus, next weekend is Malcon. So for my birthday, for the last, I don't know, however many years, I hold a mini board game convention. And Carla is in the process of like refreshing herself on this game so we can play it at Malcon. So that'll be super cool. And then I have one more game that I got, and this one is biggest one here, and it's Expedition. So Expedition, from what I understand, is the sequel to Scythe. So since I don't own Scythe, but I have my little Scythe now, I might as well own Expedition then. Now I've seen this one played at a few conventions. It's big. It's a table hog. It looked really neat and amazing though. And you have like the miniatures on this one as well, and the cards and all the components. It looked really good. So I'm really excited. I got my little scythe to make it easy to get to the table. This one might not be, but you need some of those games too. So I also got Expedition. And this is all I got so far. I own a lot of Stonemaier games already, so this kind of fills up my collection on the Stonemaier front pretty well. Yes, I'm excited to get those played. Hopefully next weekend at Malcon. Now if you want to follow me, be sure to follow me on Facebook. I'm Mel's Board Game Room. I'm also in on Instagram at Mel's underscore board game underscore room. Me and Carla also have a podcast called The Board Game Specialist, and on YouTube, Mel's Board Game Room. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Bye.